So there are 3 steps that I recommend that you do. And within each step is 3 things. And I would do it in this order. So I wanted to give you some things and a checklist that you can do to go after this abdominal fat. So first step, you've got to increase your fiber. Here's why. Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, I'm going to show you some fasting strategies and some food strategies to go after belly fat. So if you are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I am a woman on a mission to teach 1 million people how to fast. I think you will find that fasting is one of the best ways to go after fat all over your body, but specifically this belly fat. So please, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and those of you that share my videos out, super grateful for you. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. This is fast training week. We practice 5 days every month. We practice different fasts. We are practicing what I call free the fat, 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. That's what we're doing this week. If you're joining me in this fast training week, just put, I'm joining you. Let me know you're on this journey with me. And if you guys want the companion guide, this is a free guide on everything I say in this video, how to do this fast training week, how to win a box of Element, which is the minerals we recommend you are taking during fast training week. Just put companion guide in the comments and my team will send you that free link. Okay, here we go. Belly fat. There's 2 pieces to it. There is the subcutaneous fat that's over the top of the muscles, and there's the visceral fat that's underneath the muscle. Going and doing a bazillion abs is never going to make these 2 layers of fat go away. If anything, it oftentimes makes your abdomen stick out even more. So you got to have strategies to go after these 2 types of fat. And believe it or not, subcutaneous fat and visceral fat require 2 different ways to go after. And I'm going to actually give you 9 different ways to go after these two types of fat. So the first thing that you've got to realize is that all fat is excess sugar, it's excess hormones, and it's excess toxins. Your brilliant body found a place to store it to save your life. If it didn't store it as fat, then it would have stored it on organs. And if it stores it on organs, you would die much quicker. So what your body did is it took this excess and it put it on the back of your arms, it put it on your glutes, it put it on your belly, put it on your legs, put it in these places that you are looking at and you're not excited about it. So let's start to unwind this. So there are 3 steps that I recommend that you do. And within each step is 3 things. And I would do it in this order. So I wanted to give you some things and a checklist that you can do to go after this abdominal fat. So first step, you've got to increase your fiber. Here's why. When you are eating carbohydrates like cracker, it has very limited fiber in it, so it's going to spike your blood sugar really high. And that extra blood sugar is going to be stored as fat much easier. Whereas if you have a carrot with a lot of fiber in it, that blood sugar spike won't happen as quickly and it may not even go as high. And so if it doesn't go as high, you're not making as much insulin. Insulin gets stored a lot as belly fat. So if you want to not store belly fat, we need to keep insulin down, and we can keep insulin down by eating more fibrous foods. Second thing in this first step, you've got to look at your fat, what type of fat you're eating. The inflammatory fats, canola, cottonseed, corn, safflower, sunflower, partially hydrogenated, the soybean. These inflammatory fats are toxins. I know they're allowed in food, but they're toxins. And toxins, where do toxins go? The first place that toxins will be stored as is visceral fat. And so those toxins are going to all get stored in the fat underneath the muscle. So let's eat more fiber. Let's change out our fat so that we're not eating inflammatory fats, and let's start to fast. Because we know even intermittent fasting, if we compress our eating window, we can keep insulin low. If you keep insulin low, we won't end up with as much abdominal fat. Okay, so that's step one. If you haven't done those 3 things, there's your work. Start there. Step 2. Once you've got a good routine around these 3, you're going to move into lowering your carbohydrates down. So the easiest thing to do with carbs is just swap out the breads and the cakes and the cookies and the pastas and swap that out for nature's carbs. The fruits, the potatoes, the beans. And then if you even want to go lower carb, you can start to get the potatoes out, get the beans out, eat berries and green apples, don't eat the high sugar fruits. And you'll start to bring that blood sugar down, making it so that you require less insulin. Less insulin means less belly fat. So let's lower our carb down. Now, second thing, let's increase our protein. Here's why that's important. Because protein is what builds muscle. And if I took 2 versions of me here, I put one that has 50% of my body's muscle, and this version of me has 80% muscle. The version of me that has more muscle will be burning fat 24 hours a day more efficiently than the version of me that doesn't have muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, and specifically this subcutaneous fat on the outside of your abdomen, what we all are shooting for, or maybe not, what a lot of people are shooting for in that 6-pack abs. So you've got to have protein so you can burn this muscle so that you can even see those 6-pack abs. So increase your protein. Okay, third thing in this step 2 is you're going to avoid the obesogens. Go Google this. There's a class of toxins out there called obesogens. I'm going to tell you one that you're probably ingesting every single day, and that is plastics. So plastics, they cause insulin resistance, and guess where obesogens get stored? Obesogens get stored as both visceral and subcutaneous fat. So very common. Phthalates are another one. Pesticides sprayed on your food is another one. These chemicals are being stored a lot as belly fat. So go Google obesogens, get off those obesogens. Okay, now we've got 6 things. I haven't even got into the last 3 things. So let me know. I mean, if you're not doing these 6 and you're upset about belly fat, here's 6 that you can do. Okay, last 3. Cardio. Where does cardio fit in? Well, this is really interesting because what cardio will do is help you use cortisol. And cortisol also gets stored as fat. If you don't use cortisol, it will go on this subcutaneous area of fat. So here's how that plays out. You're at work and your boss comes in and gives you a ton of extra work to do. You're stressed out. And now you go and sit at your desk and all of a sudden you got cortisol surging through you. That cortisol is going to go immediately to fat. Cortisol is meant to make you move. So a really good trick is when stress goes up, you move. Go for a walk, get out, walk around your building, just don't sit. But a lot of us never learned this, so that cortisol got stored as fat. So movement is how we unwind that cortisol, that extra cortisol that's been stored in our fat stores throughout our body, but specifically the belly area. Okay, last 2 things. Strength training. Again, we want to build muscle up so that we can have a faster metabolism and so that we're more efficient at managing glucose and insulin. There's 1,000 different reasons to build muscle, but definitely enhancing your fat burning capabilities and minimizing the amount of fat on your belly, really important to be strength training. And then the last one, because cortisol, the belly is all cortisol, having some mindfulness tools, meditation, breath work, taking time to just relax, saying no to stressful situations, all of this is going to play out on your cortisol levels. When cortisol goes up, the belly goes out. So when you bring cortisol down, you start to see that you will accumulate less adipose tissue on your abdomen. 9 things. You follow these 9. So many of you guys have given me feedback over the years that you follow the steps that I have given you when I give you these checklists and you're seeing great results. So here's your belly fat checklist. Let me know if you've done some of these things and you've gotten good results. Put it in the comments. Those of you who have lost weight with fasting, put it in the comments. I love your fasting wins. If you're joining me on Fast Training Week, put it in the comments. And as always, please do not give up on yourself. If you're living in a body that you do not love, it's not your fault. Most likely, it's because you haven't been taught things like this on how to take amazing care of this human body you get to live in. So, as always, there you go. That's how you get rid of belly fat, and I hope that helps.